Hello, good morning. Welcome to day, what did we have? 65. Drawing blanks. So we're going deeper into the fear of being seen. Welcome to day 65 with me, Sara. I am on a quest to liberate myself on every level that is possible in this human realm. And fear of being seen is one of them. And that's why I'm doing these 108 days, sharing my teachings, sharing myself, and exploring the nervous system and my belief systems and my level of capacity of holding through this live experiment. So yesterday we talked about, what did we have? Something similar. See, I'm already drawing blanks. So the drawing blank is that I was unable to come up with a topic. I am reaching levels in my nervous system where I'm truly expanding my capacity, and I'm reaching levels of moving a lot of deep energy connected to the fear of being seen. And I mean, I've done this now for 65 days, so I don't have a fear of being seen, but there's levels of my body, there's levels of my belief systems, there's level of my nervous system, there's level of my consciousness that still has these false, these illusions of not being good enough, not being, so here comes the drawing blanks. So I'm allowing my nervous system to go here. And the way that I realized when I didn't have any topic to come up with, I feel like, okay, then that's the topic, is the drawing blanks. And as I realized that, that's when the topic started to open up, and that's when the body starts to move into setting up the space. And, I put my hat on. I had no, I just, okay, I'm going to put my hat on. It's like the body is doing it and I'm becoming aware of it at the same time, because I'm allowing the body to lead. So that's why I want to really reach my full potential, because I want to operate without that fear. I want to operate without that doubt. And today my body was very resistant, but not in a I don't want to do this, this is not good for me, not from the inner child. It's more like, oh, okay, I'm noticing what's going on here. Here's a capacity level, and here's a belief system. So I'm working with the body. I'm not overriding my system. I'm working in close collaboration and listen. So when I realized that the topic was drawing blacks, then the body started to move by itself towards the recording. So that's when I knew that, okay, I'm not overriding. We're doing this together. We're just exploring our capacity. We're exploring the comfort zone. My goal is to be myself 100% authentic. And there's something about being pushed to this limit to let go of more masks or more protection mechanisms and more like ideas from the mind, like to truly, because what I'm doing here now is that I'm teaching the nervous system that it's okay to be me, even in a very stressed situation, or in a situation where I don't feel comfortable, or that I don't feel like I have something to say, that I don't feel like I have something smart to say. So I'm proving myself wrong by showing up here today in this conversation. And it's so interesting. My nervous system was having so strong reaction. I was tired. I've been up for 5 nights in a row. I woke up at 1, but I go to bed super early, so I get my sleep. It's just that they are a bit scattered between like 7 a.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m., and 8 a.m. So it's like I have a 12-hour shift there where I'm in and out of sleep for some reason. But it really started with this eclipse. And I'm noticing that. So what previously would have been a tiredness that would have been connected with, I won't be able to do this, a lot of doubt that I'm not enough, a lot of heaviness, a lot of overcompensating in terms of food, in terms of, I don't know, just emotional discomfort and a very high level of not wanting to experience that. I forgot that I am okay. We have people listening, so I assume my sound is on, and I got 2 likes. So I forget to check. I just assume that it's gonna work, and then it doesn't, and then I go and then I'm gonna check every time, and then I don't. Life. So I was so tired. I felt blocked. I felt this creative constipation. I felt overwhelmed. And now I'm starting to feel that I'm feeling pretty good. I feel much more open. I feel much more relaxed. But there wasn't a resistance that was heavy. It was a resistance on a completely different energetical dimension. So the tiredness, I've had a lot of insomnia in my life, like a lot. And it got really worse when I collapsed at work, of course, when my body went into full adrenaline shock. And that took me 6 months to find. It was like the body had to find a way to override whatever happened, because then I could come back and deal with that. Now, during these 9 years, I've been working a lot with the insomnia, and that was to really move into the emotional layer of the tiredness. And it took me a couple of years to realize that tiredness wasn't a physical tiredness. It was an emotional state, a stress, an emotional potpourri that had a very specific frequency, a specific texture, and it felt exactly like physical tiredness. And I was so desperate to get out of this state that I was looking at I took this sensation, and I because I wasn't able to process it. I'm like, it's not tiredness, because sleeping and resting doesn't fix it. So there's something else. And then I'm going to treat it like an emotion. So I went into the emotion and started to really deal with it and process it and feel it and spend time with it and really work through it. And it helped that I had a business container that all the sessions was in the middle of the night at 1 a.m. So I went to bed, I set my alarm, and when the alarm rang, I was consumed by this emotion. And then, because I had been up at night in different other containers with other teachers for 10 years and never was able to release the energy. I was just experiencing the feeling and the energy and the state. And then when I started to meet the energy with the internal alchemy process, I started to alchemize the situation instead of the energy. And then the relationship to tiredness just disappeared. This there's just no stress in my body. I'm just tired. All of this emotional layer and the deep pushback that can come from in the nervous system when there's an emotional reaction to the tiredness. And that's how a lot of the imprints work, that it's a reaction to a reaction to a reaction to a reaction. And that's why it becomes very messy when we try to liberate ourselves from the from from the different imprints and habits and mechanisms that we develop because we are constantly living in survival mode. That's when we start to override the body in order to survive, but we really want to, thrive. I don't want to just survive. I want to live well, and I want to have a good life. And that's why I'm doing all of this. I want to truly liberate myself on every level. That is my quest. And right now, universe is showing me that it's the coming back into the body. So it's these, oops, these waves, figuring out how this place works. Indiana Jones here to report. So that's how I feel. Honestly, like I'm still like, what the hell is this place? What there's so much to figure out. But not in a I have to solve, but it's my hobby, it's my interest. It's the only thing that I'm really interested in is how does this work in relationship with this? It's like there's nothing else that is as complex or interesting. That's just how I feel. And that's why I'm doing these things, and that's why I'm exploring with myself. And because I'm not really, I'm not sure if well, I'm not gonna, it is what it is, but I'm not gonna do experiments on other people. I'm not gonna do experiments on other beings. I'm gonna only experiment on myself. That's let's say it like that. And this is just a very interesting ride, because now I'm starting to feel good again. I'm still tired because tonight I was up a lot, but there's no emotional reaction to it. And now when I'm doing this session, there's a sensation of completeness, and that is really what is building the capacity. It's like we're completing a cycle. So there's a growth cycle, there's a growth process. All of these, there's these processes, these cycles. Everything in this planet is cycles, or the universe can also be, there's these repetitive processes that returns over and over in different circumstances. And when we haven't completed a cycle, and that's when we get stuck in the nervous system too, it's because there's a cycle that hasn't been completed. So we have tons of uncompleted cycles inside of us. And when we start to complete those cycles, that's when we start to really find our way, our, the steps. There's something that's bearing. You take a step and there's something there. Indiana Jones again. You've all seen when he throws the sand, you walk into the unknown. It's all, it's just all, everyone's talking about the same thing all the time, everywhere. So that's what I'm doing. I'm experimenting with myself, because if I wouldn't, I would rather not be here. That is just, if I would stop here and be stagnant, I would just not enjoy the time here. There's something about the evolution, but I'm also the snake. That's what we do. We transform. We shed the skin. It's in our. So that is just one way how I see. Like, yeah, I really resonate with that aspect of the energetic sign or setup that I have. And someone asked me in the Telegram space, which was a great question, to say if I have an open mindset myself. And I mean, the way that I've evolved over the years shows that I have a very flexible mindset. Mm, but the question was regarding like human design and astrology and all these things. And it's interesting because I'm already showcasing the fact that I don't have that as a belief system. Because if it was my belief system, then I would look deeper into my two and four line. And the two line is the hermit. And that from all those teachings, they say that I should not go live 108 days. And I just completely ignored that and did that anyway. So I'm already showcasing that I'm not bound to these. I'm just saying that I understand now, finding out that I was a two line and I could really understand this hermit. I was like, oh, that's what's happening. And then I could understand. And now I'm working with the hermit. Okay, so if I am a hermit, if I have a lot of hermit energy, of course I'm not going to be wanting to be seen. That's why I don't want to. This might sound strange, but I've never wanted to draw attention to myself, which would be very difficult to understand if you saw me when I was from 16 to 26. Okay, here's the 16 to 26 when I looked like a, I don't know, spectacle. No, we had a lot of fun, and it was creative, and it was explorative, and it was liberating. However, I never really liked being seen. So this is a real deep pattern that I'm working through with myself. So after 9 years of learning and experimenting and working on myself, I feel very confident in exploring my nervous system this way. So I don't feel like I'm overriding myself at all. I feel like I'm truly expanding my capacity, and it's like it's forcing me to be my authentic self when I'm pushed into a situation like this. So this is my true, this is who I am. And that is my quest, or the returning to. Yep. Very good. The plot thickens, the quest deepens, the truths are getting more real, and the layers are getting thinner. And again, people ask me, why are you so devoted to this process? And that is because I'm going to liberate myself on all levels. And I'm just done with not feeling good. Nope. None of this on my watch. And when you find something that works, then of course you stick with it. Why would you not? And it's the compound effect. So you have to return to something. You have to build on something, create something. And that's a process that you will see everywhere in nature as well. This compound effect. You build something over time. And if you start here and then you start there and then you start here and then you start over and then you doubt yourself, you never finish. Once you stop doing that and you realize, this, okay, even though the truth is just this small, and that's what it was for me, I could feel that there was a truth in there that needed to be accessed, and I could just trust my intuition and realize, okay, it's about being seen. So I chose my level of discomfort and started to face. So the truth of the liberation is to face whatever is going on inside. That is just There's just no other way. If we believe that the world is going to fulfill us from, external cons- con- consuming consummation, um, consumption. You see, this is teaching the nervous system. I got this. That's the feeling. That's the vibe I get in this session. Like, yeah, I got this, and that's the place where I want to come from. I want to be supernatural. I want to be myself. I want to be able to access the information that I have. I don't want to draw blanks. Even if I don't draw blanks, I will not draw blanks. And that's what I'm teaching my system. So if I can not push, if I can work with the body, with my system, and step by step follow the intuitive nudges, then everything is fine. Then I can expand slowly over time, but steady. And that's what's happening with this process. I'm finding my way, and through this there's other people, situations that is falling into place as well. Can't talk about it yet, but there's things are happening, and it's very rewarding. Even though it's like I'm moving, it's like I'm turning the compost. You got to turn the compost. So it's like turning the compost, but I'm doing it slow and steady, and I'm doing it even though I'm here with my hat and my lights and my whatever, and I feel good. I mean, I'm tired, but I'm fine with my appearance and how I come across and everything. But underneath all of this, there's this low key energy that is moving, because I'm stretching a part of myself that is really hitting the deep levels of like, ugh. And that is very satisfying to be able to reach that, because I'm just done. Done is done. And if I when I realize I can do it all by myself, then okay, then I'm going to do that. That's what I'm going to do. So here I am. So again, these 108 days, they are, first and foremost, they have to be for myself, because otherwise I won't hit that level of energy. So if is that is also why I know that the nervous system is, or that the whole experience is pushing me, not pushing me, guiding me into where I will expand. And that is also a level of trust that I've had for a long time. But it's like I'm putting everything on the line with these 108 days. I'm putting the co-creation with God, with myself, with the universe, with source, with the field, whatever you want to call it. I'm putting it on the line and showcasing it in real time, but I'm doing it first and foremost for myself. Because if it's not for myself, it's not real, then it's performing and pretending. And that there's something about that this particular situation or circumstance that I'm in right now, there's this certain level of that this is hitting, that it's moving a certain energy here. So I have to follow myself, otherwise I'm on someone else's journey, and that doesn't work. So I have no clue what's coming after this. So we just have to, it's starting to, because I have topics, but I'm not called to them. I have a lot of things that I could talk about, but there's also something else that is kind of nudging me into the abyss of the unknown. And it's also, I feel a way for myself to be entertained, because as soon as something becomes redundant, my whole body just, nope, I don't want to do that. So that's also something that I could, work myself through. And I know that I can do that. It's more about, what do I want to do? So it's not that I can't do it. I'm realizing I can face, I mean, it's more, what do I want to do? And that is where the key to this whole thing is, what do I want to do? And why do I want to do that? And that is the exploration, like the authentic self. What is it that I really want to do? And the mundane and mediocre, that's just not, if this is the opportunity I have, then I will go for it, and create something extraordinary. There's something about my soul just not here to not go for it. It's not that I have to win or that I have to succeed. It's just, there's something about just going for it, that is the point. And then what it becomes, we'll see. But we have to, I mean, not have to, but it's enjoying the journey, because I haven't really done that much. I mean, I've had good times, but I needed resources to create those good times, because I didn't have the ability to create those kind of experiences inside myself. Anyway, okay. If you enjoy this journey, if you want me to continue to do these types of explorations, and I'm thinking of maybe expanding my YouTube channel to to more things. We'll see how it goes, what happens, what I want to do. We still have a lot of days left. But if you like my content, if you enjoy this journey, if you want me to dive deeper into different aspects, let me know, like and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.